It's July and it's nearly impossible to keep the tomato plants watered. If they're not in some kind of shade, they're sucking up water and this ground is drying out. Some of the plants still have some life and some growth left in them, but they really are using too much water. Most of the plants now look like this dried out brown thirsty plant right here. It's just impossible to keep that much water on them to keep them alive and make it worth it. Tonight I'm just going to cut all the big tomato plants out of the garden and clear up some space and mulch this space so that we can prepare for our fall and winter garden. Throwing the plants outside of the garden because some of these yellowish, greenish tomatoes that are still hanging on there, the chickens would like to eat those. Some of these tomato plants this season produced a lot of tomatoes, but as it gets hotter and the season goes on and the plant gets drier, we have a problem with stink bugs. They land on the tomatoes and they suck all the juices out. When they pierce the tomato to suck the juice out, they leave these little holes, and after a while it changes the texture and flavor of the tomato. So really it's just best to take the plant out and move on. Some of the larger green tomatoes I can save, take inside, and make fried green tomatoes. That way I still get a little bit of harvest out of what I'm taking out of the garden. Notice I'm cutting the tomato plant off at the base and not pulling the roots out. There's two reasons for that. One, it's possible that this will sprout a new plant and grow back just in time for the second harvest. Here in Texas, we have basically two seasons, one in the spring, one in the fall. The second reason I leave this in is that this will die and turn into soil. Basically, that root that's left underground, it will decay and support more soil life. If I pull it out, I'm just disrupting all of that soil. This pile back here is aged horse manure. I'm going to take some of that and put it on the garden before I cover it with leaf mulch to put it to bed for the summer. These two little plants right here had some baby tomato sprouts coming up from the larger root. So I decided to leave those two plants and I cut them way back to just those baby plants to see if they do anything for the fall. Well, that's 2 beds that are completely mulched and composted and ready to go. You can see that I have a few things here still growing. These are the peppers, and a nice surprise in this bed, which is some Thai basil. Down on this end, a few more peppers and my Mexican mint marigold. They're doing really well right now. Not all is lost with tomatoes for this time of year. I do still have these small plants that I started earlier in the year from the cuttings. They're kind of suffering, but I'm hoping that we can get them through June and July to produce later in the year, or July and August rather, to produce probably in September. Also over here we have some of the Thai basil. It's going to seed, it's flowering, but it still tastes really good and it's nice to see it, and the bees love it. Well, it looks like I'm not going to get the garden finished this evening. The sun's going down and Luke's ready to do chicken duties, and I got the hose running to soak this bed real well. The ducks are making lots of noise because they weren't fed. I got to get busy. But I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the Daddy Kerbs Farm for this episode in the garden. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that so you get a notification in your inbox of my next videos. And give me a thumbs up. The thumbs up helps YouTube know that you appreciate what's going on here on the Daddy Kerbs Farm. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Oh.